Hello and welcome to another Cigar Box guitar lesson. So we are continuing with famous riff tutorials and back on the brown one here because we are in EBE tuning for a bit of classic early 90s heavy metal, which is Enter Sandman by Metallica. So the tuning being E, B, E. Now, this allows us to play in the same key as the original song, so that's great, really good to jam along once you've learnt it and you can play up to speed. And we're going to be looking at all of the different elements, all the different riffs and chorus, pre-chorus and all the rest of it, but if you want to actually play along with the full complete recording, you can download a completely free song chart from the website which will allow you to play the full song structure. So it is available in the link or in the text description down below. And if you are also interested, there is a download available for the scale and chord charts that I may have mentioned before, but a really useful reference sheet, helps support the channel and all the rest of it. But let's just get straight on with learning the song. Okay, so this tune was included in the collection of blues scale riffs. So here is a basic blues scale. Open, fret 3, fret 5, fret 6, these are all on the bass string, and then open B, fret 3, and then fret 5. You can even, if you want, you can play fret 7 for a B instead of the open B, and then it would carry on up that string. But there's another lesson looking, or like video sort of talking about this particular scale. So really good example this of how you can use a blues scale and not particularly make the song sound very bluesy. I mean, you know, metal has blues influences, but it definitely sounds like a metal tune. So what you've got in the blues scale is you've got that note there, that fret 6, it's a B flat. Very kind of dissonant, very angular sounding, and you know, to get a good metal sounding riff you often want to use quite sort of like wonky, slightly unnerving sounding notes, and it creates, you know, the sort of atmosphere they're often looking for. So the intro goes something like that. Now what I'm doing here is I'm holding on this high G, this high fret 3 on the top string, and I'm also holding on this middle E note on fret 5 of the middle string, and then I'm starting with low E, picking all the way through those. By the way, this is all sort of flat pick playing, so if you, I'm assuming, I'll just get a bit of a focus on that, I'm assuming you know what you're doing to a certain degree, but if you want to brush up on any sort of flat pick playing and how to sort of hold your pick and all the rest of it, then Sunshine You Love, one from ages ago, is quite good. So we are holding this note down, and then we've got an open E, and what we're going to do is try and reach across, try and keep those held down and reach across with finger 4, pinky finger, onto fret 6, and then second finger onto fret 5. I don't know, you might find that a little bit of an awkward shape. So the sequence of notes is bass string, middle, high, holding those notes, back to the bass string, fret 6, and then the bass string, fret 5, and then finish on the middle string, finish picking that note at the end. And so what I'm doing picking wise, this is one of the few clean parts of the song, and we want to let the notes ring out. So I'm going down down, up, down, up. I'm basically picking in the direction of the next string. Let's just check that from a different angle. So we've got rhythmically, as with a lot of the riffs in this song, it actually comes in off the beat. So I'm going to come in early. I'm going to come in just before beat 1, so in what you call the 4 and. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 2 and 3. Loops around like that, and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and. Okay, so straight in with the distortion next. I'm just going to use clean for the demo, but basically what happens is there's a lot of palm muting, because I'll just very quickly show you. So there's a bit of distortion. Now you get a really nice sort of guttural, very sort of thuddy sound if you have quite a heavy sound and you distort. Sorry, if you palm mute. So I've looked at this quite a lot in earlier videos, but just as a quick recap, you want to be resting just this side of the bridge, and it's not actually muting as such, because you can still hear the pitch of the notes. You can think of it more as sort of dampening the sound. So you rest with this side of your palm. Okay, and so we want to be muting these low E's, but not the other notes. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's just a little slide into fret 5 of this middle string, and it comes in on the same place, that rhythmically the same place as where the first one started. So it comes in on the 4 and. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we do that 4 times and then we change it. It's okay, so this note here is the octave. This is in E. This one is the wonky sounding one from the blues scale. Why not use it? It's a metal song. But it doesn't quite sound nasty enough, doesn't quite sound menacing enough, so let's use another very dark sounding interval, dark sounding note, which is fret 1. So that was used in a very famous Steven Spielberg movie. But we're going using those 3 notes alongside the open E. So it's like okay. So this changes. This was previously on beat 4 and. It now moves to 2. 1, 2, and. So we want to unmute for this fretted note. 2 and 3, 4 and. So this one now goes on to the 4 and. This is now right at the end of the bar. So we got 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 Do that 4 times, and then you go to an extra note. So you play all of that, well, an extra fretted note. So that extra fretted note replaces one of the open low E's. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we do that bit 8 times. So the rest of the band's really building up around that. The drummer's like warming up at this point, and then after that it goes into the main riff. But just before trying that, let's have a look from a different angle. So the first one, after the distortion kicks in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. I'm using all downstrokes here. So you do that 4 times, and then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you go 4 times. There's the extra note added in. Do that 8 times. And this first riff at the beginning, this carries on for absolutely ages. It's actually 12 times around that. I won't play it 12 times. I'll just play it 4, and then I'll go into the others and I'll play those for the correct number. So it's 2, 3, 4. Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Change. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then goes into the main riff, which is quite similar to the build, to be honest, but instead of playing single notes, what we can do is we can, if we just strum the open strings as we've looked at in various songs, that's a power chord, so that's great because that's what we want. We want an E power chord. So, and then an extra note, just a low E, and then slide in to fret 5, play the same notes as before, and then single note, chord, single note, chord, single note. So I'm making that chord open, but I'm muting the other notes in between. So you've got alright, so you can kind of hear how it's useful doing that when you've got distortion. So it's chord, single note, slide in to fret 5, 6, 5, open, muted, chord, open. So you do that 3 times, then you go to a G chord, G power chord, so that is just a bar. And you can check out Sunshine You Love if you want a bit more sort of help with barring, but basically Try and spread your weight across all of them. So you play that, that's an open, sorry, that's a G, and then you go to an open E, and then drop down to fret 2 with the bar. That's an F sharp, open again, and then you go F sharp, G, F sharp, and then start again, start the main whole riff again. So G, open, F sharp, open, F sharp, G, start again. Except you can also use the palm muting here. So here's the last main E riff. There's a muted, and then onto the G. And then after this G, so make that G open, nice and sort of loud, and then open all the rest palm muted, and then back to open on the E. And so if you can hear that, we've got open, muted, back to open again. So you get a nice kind of contrasting sound. It sort of controls it, so it's not just like big loud guitar sound all the way through. There's a little bit sort of dynamic to it. So you just go around that twice, but we'll just play that from this angle. So it's again coming in on the offbeat, so it's 2, 3, 4, F. Then G, start again. I'll go a bit slower. All right, straight into the verse. So this is basically loads of palm muting. You know, he's singing at this point, so the guitar is sort of dropping down, just making a little bit of space on top of the vocals. So 2, 3, 4. I mean, let's just use that. You know, we want to make it menacing, so we're using that dark sounding note there, and that's just coming at the end of the bar again. So it's 1, 2, palm muted, 4, and 1, open on that fret 1 note, 3, 4, 1. Let's finish this off. Such a good ending to the main riff. Let's just use that. So if I just come out of the main riff, you can hear how it goes into the verse. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. You can even do a chord if you want. G. And again, 2, 3. So either single note or chord. Let's go for a chord as well on the G. That's onto the pre-chorus. I'll do that in a minute. We'll just check that from this angle. So 2, 3, 4. Verse 2, 3, 4. Loads of palm mute in there, and then onto the G. Repeat it. Okay, now the pre-chorus is actually a key change, and so what that means is everything up until this point has been very much based around E. The blues scale is working so well in this song, then all they've done is they've moved up a tone, which is 2 frets. So instead of E, it's F sharp. And so that they're just basing the entire pre-chorus riff around the blues scale, and in fact pretty much just using the same riff that they used for the intro, the very beginning, but just in this scale. So F sharp blues scale is fret 2, fret 5, and then open B, and then fret 1, and then fret 2 on the middle string, and then open high E, and then fret 2. So that's gone from F sharp to F sharp, and then you can carry on up higher if you want. But the pre-chorus riff is, so we're just coming out of the verse. So we're basically finishing with a bar on fret 2. So we're actually on F sharp. So we just stay there. So I'm gonna hold that bar on, and I'm gonna use it for the first 2 notes, which are the low E and the high E strings. And then from there, I'm going to reach up with my pinky finger to fret 5. And then just to finish the riff off, I'm going to have to jump off that and go to fret 1, open, on the middle string. Back to, I'm not going to go back to a bar, I'm going to go back to fret 2, just on that high F sharp, that fret 2, and I finish. So I'm going to start on a bar because of coming out of the verse, play low E, high E strings, fret 5 on the high E string, and then fret 1, open on the middle B, and then play fret 2 on both E strings, but I might use because I'm just going to repeat that entire riff just repeats. You can probably hear that it's sounding so there's the clean intro, here's the pre-chorus. It's the same riff, isn't it? It's just using, it's in a different key. It's now in the key of F sharp. Okay. Let's just check that from a different angle. So we've come out of the verse. There's just low, I'm still on a bar chord, but I'm just playing the low string. And then the high string, that's fret 5, and then I think I'm going to go back to this. You can go back to a bar if it's easier, that's fine. Just loop it round. Do that 4 times. That is the pre-chorus. And then it goes to the chorus, which starts on F sharp. It's a power chord, it's metal, that's great, bar that. And then we can just go to a B, which is fret 7. So fret 2 up to fret 7, but we can just play a single note, which is fret 8. So we can go that's how the chorus goes, which hopefully isn't that difficult. So we play the F sharp, and then we go up to fret 8. I'm going to use my second finger and straight onto a bar. Make sure your thumb is following. Repeat that 3 times. Here's the third one. and then open E, and then one time this time F sharp to B, power chords, back to E, and then finish off with a very, very similar riff as to the end of the verse and the main riff, but this time we just we don't hang over the beat. We just go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and we're back to the main riff. We're back to verse 2, pre-chorus, chorus 2, and then it's off into the solo. But that is all of the different parts of the tune, so you can obviously have a look for that PDF if you want to play the whole lot. This will give you every single element to play from start to finish, but it does get a bit complicated towards the end. So let's just have a quick look at some of that then. So I won't do all of the repeats, but here's the first one, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next one. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next one. Then main riff. Into the verse. As you can hear, I'm missing a lot of the repeats. Pre-chorus. Fourth time. Chorus. These are quite offbeat as well. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Back to the main riff. Alright, so that is about it. Great song, really good fun to play. It's quite a good Metallica song because it's not like ridiculously fast. It's one of their most catchy, one of their most famous tunes, but it's actually one of the easy ones to play as well. So heavy metal on 3 strings, who'd have thought it? But yeah, like I said, that's not the complete song structure, so if you want to be able to play along with the original track, then you know, consider downloading the completely free PDF song chart. And have fun, and we will see you here again soon with another famous song riff tutorial video. So I'll see you on Coda Guitar.